Why did I personally buy a Husqvarna fe501 instead of the 701? For those of you that don't know, the fe501 is the street legal version of the 501 off-road dirt bike. However, buying an off-road version of any bike has its drawbacks. There's reasons why the 701 is technically the better street bike than the 501. Besides being bigger and heavier, making it a little bit better for highway travel, the 701 also has proper street maintenance intervals. A lot of people argue that having longer maintenance intervals makes it a better street bike. The 701 has a larger oil sump, meaning it can hold more oil, so you can go a lot further before you have to do an oil change. I would argue, however, you can actually get a bigger clutch cover that allows you to add a little bit more oil. But for someone like me who has primarily had street bikes, it is a little bit odd that I went with something completely different. But then for me, that was the whole point. I wanted a whole different experience. A thing I always wanted since I was a kid was a dirt bike. And this is the dirt bike that I can take on the street. And those short maintenance intervals that everyone talks about aren't actually that bad. Doing an oil change on this thing takes me about 20 minutes. A lot of the sport bikes I've had in the past take longer to do an oil change because of the fairings. And if I ever wanted to, like I said, I could actually increase the oil sump by a little bit. Another huge factor for me was weight. I've had a lot of other bikes that weigh quite a bit more than this thing. I think they rate it at 235 pounds dry, probably closer to 250 with oil and fuel in it. And of course, 450 with me on it. But it's also extremely capable on the street. Because of the larger engine and the 6-speed transmission, this thing can do highway speeds. In fact, it can do braking speed limit highway speeds quite easily. Now, of course, it's not going to keep up to an R1 or even an R6 or even a 650 for that matter in top speed. But in the super twisty, fun, technical stuff, this thing will probably destroy them. Plus, if you're someone who wants to learn how to do some stunts, wheelies, stoppies, whatever else, a super light bike and a dirt bike that's kind of built to take some crashes is the perfect motorcycle for you. I had never ever really done wheelies or anything else before I got a dirt bike. If you crash, you're going to wreck too much stuff. This thing I've crashed 2 or 3 times, and it's fine. No, I'm not saying this motorcycle is for everyone and that everyone should get this bike as their first bike, but personally, it's been my favorite motorcycle pretty much of everything I've ever owned. This bike can just do everything and go anywhere. And because of that, I love it. And I sold pretty much every other motorcycle I've ever owned. And that's not to say I'm gonna keep this bike forever and maybe never get another street bike in my life. But for now, this is what I want. And because of other things I like to do in my life, like trying to buy a sailboat, for instance, a small, lightweight motorcycle is the perfect choice for me right now.